Well guys, I'm here with BMW's new iX1. So this has new technology, new styling, but best of all, it's BMW's entry point for its least expensive EV. So this is a fully electric battery-powered vehicle, and you'll notice that there are some differences in terms of how it looks. It does still look like an X1, the petrol model, but we see things like a smooth grille here for better aerodynamics. Moving around the car, it's actually lower to the ground by 35 millimeters as well, and that's to give it room for the batteries too. There's some aero flowing through and under and around the wheels to reduce turbulence too. And best of all, at the back of the car, the familiar exhaust pipes are gone, and that's across the range too, even the petrol models, because I think BMW just doesn't want to see exhaust pipes anymore on these vehicles. So one thing about the iX1 is that you don't get the front trunk or the frunk to store stuff, because it still has, I guess, part of the motor in there. But on the back side, you do get 490 liters of space, which is actually quite competitive. The seats fold down and split in a 40-20-20 configuration, and you do have some under storage here as well for your charging cables. So all up, there's definitely room to store things. So this has 230 kilowatts of power. That's 494 Newton meters of torque. So it's got lots of grunty power. It'll do 0 to 100 in 5.6 seconds, and that is pretty quick. And lastly, the top speed is 180 kilometers per hour, if you can do that legally, that is. All right, well, we're off and running here in the iX1. So the first thing that I noticed when I got in here was just how nice of a place to be the interior actually is. So there's a new design. It's got basically a floating sort of center console. It's been designed to kind of maximize the sense of width in here. You've got the new curved display that kind of steps down from some of the more expensive models of cars. And you got some really nice materials. So there's different finishes that you can choose from. There's different woods as well. So ultimately it feels premium at the end of the day. And you know, for that price tag, you'd expect that it would, but it is a nice place to be. You know, from a practicality point of view, there's lots of places to put your water bottles, some pretty good sized ones here in the door armrest sills. In the center console, you got another two there. You have USB-C charging ports that are pretty close by, as well as wireless charging. And of course, you get your wireless CarPlay, your Android Auto too. Look, in terms of overall comfort, these seats do massage you. You know, there's a lot of different options for positioning your seat with the electric motors here, as well as just a non-motorized steering wheel raise and telescopic adjustment too. But you know, the driving position is good. You still do get that sort of SUV or crossover feel where you're a little bit up above the traffic. Now, I do like using the new in-car entertainment system. It's touchscreen. You can also kind of interact with it slightly here, but the conventional dial wheel is gone. You can sort of swipe across the screens. It's got good visibility. There's a lot of different modes to select from. And in addition to that, there's a lot of safety modes. There's a great driver's parking assist, which will actually help look for parking spots for you when you're kind of driving along, and it will find the right one that your car will fit in, even if you're in a very narrow laneway where you have to worry about the other side of your car when you're reversing in. So that will certainly help make life easier. There's also a digital key or digital key plus. So what this does, it allows you to use your iPhone or your Android phone, or even Samsung phones have a special mode as well, where you can unlock with just your phone. You don't even have to unlock your phone itself. It can just be in your lapel pocket, for example, or in your purse, and you approach the car and it will unlock for you. Now, another really cool mode that I love is that because this car has a lot of cameras, it will actually give you a dash cam capability, so you can record a drive or also have your car monitor its surroundings using the camera when you're parked. So it'll keep an eye on things, and certain events will trigger a camera recording. And really it makes a lot of sense given that you know, the cameras are there already. Another cool thing is that you can use the app and look at what the cameras see if you want to sort of see around the car too. So another really good advancement in technology. In terms of battery stats, so this has about a 65 kilowatt hour usable capacity. So that's not the size of the battery, but that's the usable capacity. And in terms of charging, it will do both AC and DC. So it will do AC 22 kilowatt, meaning sort of a 3-phase at home, as well as a standard 11. But also when you're doing DC charging, there's a fast charging capability. It does it up to 130 kilowatts. So if you do see a charger that does that, you can charge the car from about 10% to 80% in 29 minutes. So you do get a reasonably fast top up. Or if you wanted to just get as much range as you can in a shorter period of time, 10 minutes, depending on where the battery is, will get you about 125 kilometers. So really, in terms of range anxiety, I mean, it's got a total of about 400 or maybe 440 WLTP rated range. So, you know, I wouldn't be too anxious about, you know, driving far and running out of charge, especially if you plug it in at nighttime. There are some options too. You do get a standard AC charger as well as a Type 2 charger as standard here. There is a wall box option that you have to pay for. In Australia, it's just over $1,000 as well. Look, in terms of driving it, I've had lots of fun today with it. Acceleration is really impressive. It's effortless. You know, put a bit of, you also hear the Hans Zimmerman soundtrack there. It's a 12-string orchestral sort of sound effect to kind of get you maybe excited about the power that this car has. But you know, with a 0 to 60 in 5.6 second time, you really do feel that. I've done some overtaking on my drive today, and it really has had plenty of power even at faster speeds. And with a top speed of 180 kilometers per hour, you're probably not going to be doing that anyway. Chassis-wise, it is quite well planted. Going around the bends earlier on today, it was, you know, it felt confident, sure-footed. As this is a dual motor, it'll compensate. I think the split is 55 front and 45 rear weight distribution. So it does still kind of keep that moniker of, you know, a really fun driving machine. I have to say I was quite impressed with how it felt just going through those turns. So I think that if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, you can still have a bit of fun with this, not just, you know, cart people around. Seems like we've run into a bit of traffic here in rural Victoria. So there's an extra power boost if you really do want to get onto the throttle, which gives you sort of more of a peak power for a short period of time. Kind of like, you know, F1 technology with their KERS system, but not exactly that fast. But it is there if you want it. So there are a number of different battery regeneration modes when you brake. You can go for the full one-pedal driving experience by going into the D mode here. So when you do take your foot off, it does brake quite rapidly. But otherwise, there's an adaptive regenerative braking mode, which pretty much figures it out for you. So depending on the driving condition, it will either apply more braking, or like this, it'll apply some more regen on heavier braking. So it is a way of kind of maximizing your efficiency. It will sort of know when to coast as well. And I have felt it throughout my drive, sort of trying to figure out the best way of getting some energy back in the battery. Speaking of which, the maximum amount of energy that it can put back in the battery is up to 130 kilowatts. So that's pretty much the maximum charge speed it can handle too. So if you're going down a super steep hill and you have the maximum regen going, you can actually feed a lot of energy back into that battery just to kind of extend your range. So the iX1 is pretty efficient too. In our drive, you're getting about 18 kilowatt hour for consumption, which is pretty competitive in this space, especially if you consider that it has a dual motor. You know, our drive, you know, we're just about 53% of the battery. And we started at 100% today, but we did, you know, a number of hours of driving and come probably a few hundred kilometers so far, so 207 kilometers. So that is our quick take of the BMW iX1. There are two lines available. There's the M Sport line, like the one behind me here, as well as the X line. Both of them are priced at $84,900, so that's $84,900. You can order them now, and deliveries will probably be around December. But overall, look, I've really enjoyed my time with this vehicle. Inside is a really nice place to be. It is absolutely loaded with tech. being dual motor is quite unique for its price point in the segment, so it is really competitive. So if you're into a small premium EV, I think the BMW is definitely your place to start.